Hello, welcome back to my channel, my friends. Welcome to whatever day of Vlogmas this is. I am sitting down to do my makeup and I thought we could chat. What a day it's been so far. I debated, honestly, whether or not I wanted to vlog today because I'll be honest, the past couple of days I have been not only under the weather, but just kind of emotionally in a little bit of a weird place. I feel like I had a little bit of a breakthrough yesterday, but it also left me feeling a little bit drained and I just wasn't sure how I wanted to show up online, if I wanted to share any of the things I've been thinking about or experiencing. In typical me fashion, I am going to overshare and talk about it. And I also wanted to take you along with us today because we are going to be doing some shopping for our adopted family and then do some Christmas present wrapping as well when we get back because we need to bring those to the location tomorrow, the location we're dropping things off at. We work with an organization that helps children with developmental delays get the help that they need, the early interventions that they need. And they run, again, this adopt a family program around the holiday seasons. The thing I actually really like about this particular adopt a family thing is that it's not just the children, it's also the parents. I think the parents deserve presents just as much as the children do. We're dropping the presents off tomorrow, therefore we need to get the presents and wrap them today. The only thing we have left is to buy for the dad of the family. He asked for some sneakers, so we're gonna go shop for sneakers today, and I wanted to bring you along with us for that. Before we get into that, I want to get a little bit deeper and talk to you about some things that I've been thinking about because I think that this stuff's going to show up on my channel, and I also kind of want to get your feedback about if you want me to talk about these things going forward, if you want me to make a formal series here on my channel about these things. But as y'all have seen in a couple of videos recently, I have been kind of toying with this idea of maybe doing a no-buy going into 2025 and or just kind of reckoning with my relationship with things. I've really been kind of formulating my plan for what I want next year to look like in all aspects. I feel like December is just the time of year where I am feeling more reflective, not only on spending, but also just on my values and what I want going forward. And I think that you can do this any time of year, but I feel like November, December, January is really when these things are super top of mind for me. This year, I feel like has looked a little different. I mean, this year in general has been sort of a weird year, and so trying not to be too hard on myself when I reflect on it because some of the things that I have done have been emotional responses to the things that I've gone through, but I want a brighter 2025 for sure. One that is more focused and more intentional. Been kind of doing some exploring, some soul searching, all of these things on my own. Then I kind of reacquainted myself with Hannah Louise Poston's channel. I don't know if y'all have ever watched her, but she is a really cool content creator here online. I love the way that she speaks, exceedingly bright and intellectual and just has a way with words. But she, back in 2018, I think did a no-buy challenge, and I remember coming across her content back then and thinking it was really cool. I think she might have actually introduced me to the concept of a no-buy, but while I didn't necessarily feel like I needed that content then, I definitely need it now. And it's really cool going back and watching these videos and just seeing how relevant they are to my life now. I think when she made the content, it was back in her early 30s. I think now she's 37, which is not that different than being 30. I feel like, your 30s are just a continuation of the rest of your life, right? I don't think we're all that different amongst our 30s. But I watched a video from her yesterday that just really resonated with me, kind of unlocked some insecurities in me and got to the root of some of my own kind of behaviors and thoughts about spending, thoughts about myself. Was really glad for that, for sure. It was, I think, important. Don't know if I wanted to hear it in that moment, but it was important for me. And after, watching that and sitting with it and talking with Hayden, I will say this morning I woke up and I was a little bit overwhelmed, honestly, just kind of with the things that I feel like I want to change about myself, the things that I want to examine, I think is maybe a better way of putting it, kind of going into 2025. Yeah, I don't know, I was surprised that I had more things yet to explore. I thought I had kind of gotten to the root of things, and I don't know, I feel like for a while I've been able to, realize that, yeah, a lot of my overspending or I say overspending is such a general thing. Spending maybe on things that I don't need, I think is a better way of putting it, because I'm not putting myself into debt to buy things, I should say. I think some of my spending behaviors that I don't personally align with and don't personally like kind of, come back to this idea of a dream self or an ideal self. I have recognized that for a while. I have kind of cracked that code, but I think it went even deeper than that, and watch Hannah's video where she kind of talks about that. Ooh, it really resonated with me, and I'll leave a link to her channel and that video down below if it's something that you're interested in or you want to see. I don't know if that particular section of the video will hit as hard for you, but she kind of talks about her fantasy self and breaking that down and how it brought up really important conversations with her partner and just kind of with her life. And basically for her, it boiled down to not only was she buying things for a fantasy self, she also had this idea of what her life should be built up in her head, and she was spending as if she already had that life, even though that life was not something that she would probably or possibly ever attain. I was like, oh, okay. And she started talking about how lack of perceived success by herself in her career or whatever kind of led her down this path, buying things to try to soothe that. And I was like, okay, hold up. I'm getting a little bit like rattled here. Got me to reflect on this past year and how I just don't really like where I'm at in life. It's weird because like on the one hand, I'm so proud of some of the changes I've made this year, but obviously it's always a journey and it's always kind of an ongoing thing to kind of reckon with ourselves and kind of with how we see ourselves. And I was just realizing there have been a lot of like self-sabotaging behaviors this year, a lot of things that I want to work on for next year, kind of around spending and also other things as well. Like there's just a lot of things that I think I could do to make myself a more happier and more actualized person. So that was kind of hard. And I kind of just wanted to not even sit with it. Honestly, I didn't want to sit with it, but I also felt like a little bit of paralysis today. I was like, I don't want to do anything now that I have discovered all of these things and unlocked this like can of worms. I don't want to have to think about this or like have this in my head right now. I don't know. It has been an interesting day for sure. And I look so scary today too, for the record. Oh, that's another thing. I don't really know how deep I want to get into that. But one of the things that I kind of thought about too, getting more into like, you know, this ideal version of ourselves, thinking about the fact that I have been spending more money on skincare and makeup lately and how that is a direct reflection of the fact that even though I am changing the way that I look and losing weight and I'm happy with that, it is just unlocking new insecurities and new things that I don't really like about myself and how I have to constantly combat those things. Otherwise, new insecurities will just unlock themselves or come up, and that no amount of makeup is actually going to solve that. Yeah, that was not super fun to think about. I don't know. I don't have any like concrete, what's the word I'm looking for, answers or concrete solutions to any of these problems that have been, you know, dredged up or insecurities that have been dredged up for me. But I think that knowing this and accepting this and or knowing that there's a journey that I'm going to be going on next year has just opened things in me, I guess. Like it has been interesting. And I was kind of toying with this idea, and let me know if you're interested, kind of sharing my no buy with you. I am officially going on a no buy for 2025. A bunch of different reasons for some of the ones I've discussed, but also because, as I discussed a couple of videos back, I really do want to prioritize things that bring meaningful difference and meaningful impact to my life. I love having a beautiful home, but I also more than that prefer a functional home that is clean and that doesn't flare up my allergies, which my home does, especially in the wintertime. You know, one of the things I would love to do next year is to replace the flooring in my home. I've said it so many times. I feel like y'all are probably sick of hearing me talk about it. Buying tchotchkes and stuff, like that's not going to fill a void, right? Fixing my floors or changing my floors isn't going to fill a void either, but it's going to make a meaningful impact on my day-to-day life for years to come. I would rather save my money for things like that rather than, you know, makeup, when I could also just, I don't know, work on liking myself. Maybe that's a solution for next year. So yeah, I want to do a no buy. I would love to be able to share that with you. In what capacity, I'm not really sure. Like, y'all let me know what you would like to see from me in that capacity if you care about it. If you don't care about it, that's totally fine. If you're like, just keep it to yourself, girl, that's totally cool as well. But yeah, I've already started like creating my rules for myself and kind of like what I would like to do for my no buy. And in the past, I've said that I don't want to go on a long-term no buy, or I'm not sure like how impactful that will be, but I really am understanding more about my personality as the years go on, especially as this year has gone on. And I do realize that I have such an all or nothing kind of like attitude. And I'm hoping that by like having an all or nothing attitude, this is something that Hannah Louise posted and said that I really, again, kind of connected with. By having an all or nothing attitude, you can really reset some of your old behaviors. And I think that's what happened for me with fitness. By exercising every single day, 4 months at a time, it really reset my brain. And now I see exercise as like a fundamental part of my everyday rather than just like, oh, I can do this sometimes. I don't have to do this every day. You know, it became a true ingrained habit. And so I'm hoping that, you know, going cold turkey and really just like going on a no buy for 2025 in, again, like the categories that I'm most concerned with will help me. And I say the categories I'm most concerned with, like I said, I am prioritizing saving money so that I can change things in my home. I'm not going to say like, oh, I can't buy anything for my house, but I don't want to buy like random home furnishings. I don't want to buy makeup. I don't want to buy skincare. I don't want to buy all of these things. So I've started putting parameters around them. I started like making a list of things. So I'm more than happy to kind of share that and share my updates with you as time goes on. I know that she did like monthly videos. I feel like that might be a little overkill for me, but I could do like a video overview on kind of what I'm hoping to accomplish and maybe do quarterly check-ins if that interests any of you. So just let me know. It has been an interesting couple of days as I sort of like sort through these things and sort of figure out what I want to do going forward. And part of it I think goes beyond to just the spending, of course. I also am really focused on understanding the reasons behind my spending, finding solutions. And one of those things too is like finding joy in everyday life and finding new hobbies instead of scrolling the internet for like new things to bring into my life. Maybe I could develop a hobby or find other things that like bring me joy. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing those things forward next year. Showing you all the new things that I'm going to be doing, hopefully that are low or no cost. But again, I'm going to be taking y'all along with me today as we buy things for our adoptive family, you know, different tonally, hopefully for the rest of the vlog, but just needed to get that off of my chest and share that with you because these are the things I'm thinking about as we go into the new year. And I like getting reflective. Maybe y'all will get reflective in the comments with me. Also, actually, I'll take this opportunity to ask you what your goals are for next year. Is there anything that you're really wanting to change in your life? I would love to know. And maybe honestly, it could help inspire change in me as well, other changes that I want to, you know, enact. But let me finish off my makeup and I will check in with y'all in a little bit whenever we go shopping. Hello, beautiful friends.
A bit of mood lighting.
It's very sexy in here because it's 5:19 p.m. I can't really hear out of my ears, which is kind of fucking with my head a little bit.
Probably good for being in the car with me though.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of true. Mr. Hayden, very loud. I love him anyway. Signature ways of telling him to be quiet, which is bring it down, or I do this with my hand and he gets it.
I try to comply. I can't do it as much as you want because my vocal cords just don't vibrate like that. Hurts physically. Yeah. Excuses. We just had some dinner, chicken eggies. I just want to say, it's crazy to me that Pepsi was trying to run that campaign about Pepsi bringing the world together because Pepsi doesn't do shit. It's all about the Coca-Cola. Well, if you got sponsored by Coca-Cola,
Be so rich.
I mean, true, yeah. Like they
don't sponsor people.
They don't sponsor people.
If they do, wow, you're probably making a lot of money.
I feel like they barely sponsor whole sports teams or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like if anything, they're just like, yeah, sell all of. You get the privilege of selling
our
Coca-Cola products in your stadium.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know,
That's true. Some brand leverage there. We just had dinner. Now we're gonna go to Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, the right price, Academy, to look at sneakers.
You're outdated, by the way.
Tennis shoes. I don't care. I like it better that way.
No, same.
I'm not gonna update it.
It irritates me that
What
it's
is
been
it?
changed. I think that it's the right stuff, the low price.
Don't love that. Academy is apparently not a national brand sports and outdoor store.
It's not?
I think it's Texas-based specifically.
What?
Hayden decided to park us on a hill because...
This is like one of the 3 spots that we park in ever, so...
Yeah, but like not the best one for filming.
Well, I didn't know we were gonna film.
We're going to Academy. We're gonna look at little sneakies, tennis shoes, whatever you'd like to call them. I call them tennis shoes, but I say sneakers because apparently that's what the internet mostly calls them. The father of this family requested Nikes. They said either running shoes or just like casual Nikes. And I'm bringing Hayden with me. I've done like all the other shopping on my own. Normally we do it together, but it was just easier for me this time because it was like...
There were like a lot of stuff to get online.
Yeah, well, not even that, but like for the mom, she wanted makeup, so obviously I'm gonna handle that. And for the kid, they wanted a toddler bike and they didn't have any at Target, so I was like, I'm gonna have to buy this online. But shoes we'll do in person, and we'll also try to get a gift receipt because I will say shoes are kind of a tough thing. Like I'm hoping that like we can get something that's cool. Like I trust that Hayden kind of understands what's cool. Everybody has different tastes though, you know? That is the kind of one of the challenging things about doing stuff like this. I like to try to stick as close to what the person asks for as possible. Like if you name something very specific, I will get you that thing. Like I'm not gonna try to like, you know, get the cheaper alternative. Like this is Christmas, like you deserve what you ask for. But it's hard if you just say like Nike sneakers. Like I want to make sure we get something cool. Also, if you don't think they're cool, then you can return them if you want to.
Yeah.
And it should be fun. I haven't been to Academy in a really long time, and I don't need anything there. And there's also nothing that I really want to say like at Academy, but like all they have is like athletic clothes or tents. I don't think anything's gonna be tempting me, but
I need some Magellan fishing shirts.
I think that's really gonna complete your look. You're taking up a new hobby in the new year too.
I need many layers of PFG.
I was telling them about my no buy challenge earlier.
I think I'm gonna pick up buying next year as like my hobby. It's just not me.
It's just not. Yeah, it's not really in your
It's not.
Personality. He does want to, what did you say, like build a computer next year?
Well, I want to build a new computer. Like I have a computer, but I've had it for like 5 years now, and some of the parts are starting to like go out occasionally. So my
man has to have the best gaming setup, so we'll
it's
make
like
sure that happens.
at this point it's old enough that it doesn't make sense for me to like just replace the
individual components.
The individual. I would have to buy really old stuff.
That is his thing he wants to do, and my thing is no buy things, but also buy some things. Mostly just floors would be really tight if we could swing that, and then I need to like, I guess, walk you through the categories at some point. Like, again, I'm probably going to make an actual whole video on this, but clothes is going to be an interesting one. I want to be really intentional with my clothing purchases. I have to buy clothing, otherwise I will not have pants to wear after a certain point. Like right now, I'm able to get away with wearing some of the stuff, even though technically a lot of it is too big. Once I get down to the weight that I want to be, like, I will not be able to wear those. Like, it will look really silly, and or they will fall off of me. So I will have to buy new clothes. those, but I don't want to like buy a bunch of junk, so that'll be interesting.
I think I kind of want to work on my wardrobe some more this year as well. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
It's not that I don't have things, it's that I've over time accumulated a lot of different things that like don't really
pair well together.
So I need to like consolidate that and then find some things to tie those things together, right?
That's kind of how I feel too. Like, I think that some of my tops will probably still fit me even at like a lower weight. Pants don't though, so I want to be really intentional with like my pants purchases. Obviously there's going to be some tops that I need, and I definitely am going to need new dresses and stuff too, but yeah, I want to be really like smart. I want to like plan ahead of time, like, okay, I need a white t-shirt, I need this kind of jean, I need this kind of thing, rather than just like shopping sales or, you know, buying a bunch of stuff and then getting it home and you're like, oh fuck, this doesn't go together, you know? Because I don't want to repeat old problems.
I'll need your help with that.
Pairing stuff together?
Yeah.
I like helping Hayden with his clothes. All right, we'll see you back at home when we, you know, have the shoes that are wrapping. Hayden is making loud noises. We're home and we just got our little adventy thing working. The battery for the remote went out and so we couldn't turn it on, but look how cute it is. It like counts down the days for you, and I don't know if you can actually see, but like we've got the countdown on and the little houses light up. How fun is that? I feel like I look like a businesswoman right now. I actually have leggings and sneakers and tall socks on. I actually don't look that crazy IRL, but we are back and I was going to briefly show y'all what we bought for our adopted family, because I just think hauling things is fun, and it's even cooler because I don't have to keep this stuff. Get to gift it. We ended up getting sneakers and socks. The dad requested Nike socks specifically, and I feel like if you're requesting Nike socks, you want the ones with the checks on them. So we got those. And I will say, finding sneakers in the right size was kind of challenging. There were really not a lot of 8s available, but we were able to find these. He requested either running shoes or casual shoes, and these kind of like fit in that in-between category, I feel like. And we were able to get gift receipts too. So if for some reason they don't fit, they don't work, and he wants to return them. Also, I feel like I could just like honestly sit down, so I'm not expending too much energy because I'm not feeling great. I realized I went a little bit overboard for the like makeup and skincare that was requested, but you know what? When you really go overboard for Christmas, I just got a sweet care package in the mail, Novel Wicks from time to time, and it came in this like really cute box with like stuffing, so I was like, hey, reuse the box for makeup. So I put makeup in here, skincare in here, and I'll show you what little makeup goodies I got. I got this mascara, eyeliner, and again, these were like things that were requested, not necessarily by name. She listed out, I want eyeliner, mascara, eyeshadow, that kind of thing, so I got both stick and liquid liner, this really pretty metallic eyeshadow. I tried to get everything in kind of like the mid-toned range so that it would show up on a variety of skin tones. So this is kind of like a golden color. I got 2 of these really pretty palettes from Amazon actually, because they didn't have any of the eyeshadow palettes at my Target, which was a little weird. There was a palette that I thought was prettier, but again, it was like really pale shades that I would gravitate towards, so I wanted something that was gonna like potentially work for more skin tones. I mean, it's hard because again, I don't know this person. One of them is completely matte, one has some shimmery shadows, and this one's like more on the pinky side, so I just thought it was fun. Lip balm, squeezy lip balm, 2 of my favorite lip plumping pens. These are kind of on the sheer side again, so like if the person is deeper complected, like these aren't gonna look super chalky and weird, so liked all of those choices. Again, I would have like liked to do even more color cosmetics, but I was like, I don't want to get stuff that this person like can't use. And then she specifically asked for things from the e.l.f. Holy Hydration line, so I got pretty much everything that I could find at my Target. She said something about a kit, but they like didn't have a kit there, so I was like, I'll just get different products. So I got the melting balm like face cleanser or makeup cleanser, I got the face cream, the serum, the gel moisturizer, the regular daily moisturizer, and a lip mask. So I feel like that kind of covers all of our bases, and it kind of feels like I went crazy, but at the same time, like again, I'm not really doing Christmas for myself or for Hayden or for really anyone. Like we have again agreed as like a collective extended family that we just don't want to do Christmas in that way. There's obviously nothing wrong with giving people gifts. I mean, it's like the reason for the season in a sense, but kind of complicates things, especially when you bring extended family into things. Like I said before, we have done White Elephant in the past with Hayden's family, but not all of us are like so close to where we would know something really personal to get each other. Like again, I've gotten, I think like 2 years in a row, my brother-in-law, and I like, he's great, but I don't like know him super personally. Like I don't know like what he does on the weekends except for like Hunt. So just like challenging to buy people gifts, and people end up with stuff that maybe they won't use. And the sentiment is always like nice, but anyway, extended family, we just don't do gift giving anymore. We just like to spend time together and share a meal together, and that's kind of what we do. But yeah, this is like our way to be able to like buy presents, and I find it fun. Also back here we have, actually I don't think Hayden fully pulled it over, but back there the bike that we bought for the toddler boy it is back there. I'll insert a picture right here of the one we ended up going with. I thought it looked really cool. Like I think if I was a little boy, like this is the bike that like I would want. I couldn't find any at Target that really like fit the bill. They all seemed like kind of poorly made and or wouldn't transition very well. This one had like training wheels, but you could remove them, and it was like a nice like aluminum frame or whatever bikes are made out of. I feel like the ones at Target, like some of them were like actually plastic, so that is what we ended up getting. I'm just very excited. I love shopping, obviously. That's been a problem for me, but getting to do it in this way is like really fun. So just wanted to share. Again, it's like part of our Christmas tradition, so I enjoy doing it. But I am going to go and time lapse this and do some Christmas present wrapping with Hayden, and I'm gonna cozy up in bed with my heating pad because y'all, period cramps hit me so hard. I like went into Academy with Hayden, and as we were checking out, I was like, ooh, I'm not doing so hot. So he had to run in and get the wrapping paper for me because I was just like, I don't know if I can make it. Let's get to wrapping. angels. What is it about this shirt looking crazy today? Like, it's a cute shirt. It's just not giving. It's not giving what it needs to give, but that's okay. We finished wrapping presents, which was really fun, and the cats were not injured, even though they kept trying to touch the scissors as I was cutting, which is, you know, typical cat things. Just wanted to say hey, me and Peppo. You wanna see his little face? Oh, he's such a little boy. I still have not added the lights down here, so. What do I need to update you on? Oh, I just started The Duke Who Didn't, which is for the Time video, and it's a historical romance that I'm really enjoying. I think it's like set in England, but both the hero and heroine are Asian, which is very cool. I guess I'm reading back-to-back Asian historicals, which I love that for me. I'm not far enough in to like give you my thoughts and feelings and like tell you what the book's about. I mean, I guess I could briefly tell you what the book's about. Hero and heroine were like childhood friends, and he was really interested in pursuing her, but she was like, you're not a serious enough guy. And so he goes away for a couple years, comes back, still not a serious guy, but he is insistent on marrying her. He hasn't like pursued that, but we know he's insistent on marrying her. And she's like trying to help her dad, I think, like launch his own sauce. It's a whole thing. What's also a whole thing is how he's purring. He is not the purriest of the cats. In fact, he's the least purry. So when he does, you know, he's very satisfied. I think he was happy that I turned on the space heater that I got. It's interesting seeing how the efficiency of our home has changed over the years. When we bought our house, like touted amazing energy efficiency, and I will say our electric bill is always like pretty low, which is nice, even though we live in Texas and it gets hot in the summers. In the wintertime, I don't even know if the efficiency has changed that much. I just feel so much colder. It could be also that I have less body fat to insulate me. I don't know. I'm just freaking cold this winter, so I got a space heater, and I only run it for like 10 minutes at a time. I don't like keep it on all day or anything, because I think they're like generally kind of unsafe to have in your home, but I think he's been digging it when I run it. This is so unlike him. I mean, I say that. He likes to lay on me in bed, but he doesn't normally do this when I film. I would like it even more if you wouldn't. Oh, thank you. Oh, ow. Getting his little claws into my knee. Very handsome though, and I do love you. He's also really happy with his new food, I should state for the record. He's a brand loyalist. He used to be fed like Purina Pro Plan. What was it called? Not Chicken Essentials. It had a fancy name and he really enjoyed it. But I switched all the boys over to like the soup can wet food from Nulo because it's less expensive. They all enjoy it, whatever. He would eat it for a while, then he kind of stopped, and then he had pee-pee problems, and now he's back on his Purina. Different Purina. This one's like for urinary, but like non-prescription. He fucking loves it. The beef and chicken. He's a fancy guy who likes his steak. He also has the loudest mouth of all of the cats. Oh, you want to come back? Okay. Other exciting updates for you before I leave for tonight? Not really. I have mostly been, if anyone was curious, besides listening to this audiobook and wrapping presents, audio messaging one of my lovely friends. It's always just so nice to get to like connect rather than just text, you know what I mean? I feel like audio message is almost like you're kind of hanging out with someone. But yeah, just telling them about like my discoveries today and like, you know, how I want to share online about like the no-buy stuff. And yeah, that was just nice. It was nice and satisfying. And I will say one thing I could tell you, I am retooling my Patreon for next year. I had been thinking about it for a while because I just like wasn't super satisfied with like my Patreon, the things that I was offering, the connection that we were able to get. And so I think what I'm going to do, and y'all let me know if this like sounds good or if you'd be interested in this. I know for sure that I am switching my like bookish kind of Patreon stuff from 3 tiers to just 1 tier. Everything's got to be available for $5. You're going to get bonus content from me, basically. That's like the main thing that I'm going to be doing, with basically no reading sprints anymore because people just start attending reading sprints, which is fine, but I want to like give people what they want and keep everything really simple. And then I was also thinking of maybe doing like another $5 tier for patrons over here who are interested in more of the lifestyle things. I know that like there are other people who are also on like similar journeys when it comes to fitness and stuff like that, or who might also want to join in my no-buy. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do like a $5 tier where we could have chats and hang out and do check-ins. And I think I'm going to be posting like more frequent kind of weight loss check-ins and or no-buy check-ins and like just slightly more personal stuff on that tier. I thought that could be kind of fun, and maybe I'll do like a combined tier if you want like both, you know, both my main channel Patreon and like my, you know, vlog channel Patreon stuff too, you know, a little bit of bundled savings if you will. But something I'm just thinking about. I don't know. I think it could be fun to like have more of like a community, be able to like chat and talk to y'all one-on-one about things. So yeah, something I'm thinking about. And I'll obviously update you if like that comes into fruition and just kind of what that looks like. But thanks for bearing with me today. I know that intro was a little bit dark, but I think that reflection is always healthy well, maybe not always healthy, but it can be really healthy. And I will say, even though the tone of that was a little bit sad in the beginning of my day, I was kind of like, ugh, in my feels, I am feeling excited to change things going forward and to, you know, work on myself. I don't think that we need to constantly be self-improving, but if there's things that you want to change about yourself and you feel empowered to do so, more power to you, you know? More power to me, I guess, because I've got a lot I need to work on. But yeah, 2025, it's going to be our year. We're going to have fun together. Ready for it. Thanks for watching, y'all. See you in the next one.